He wakes up in the middle of the night gasping for air. His left hand is around his neck squeezing. He screams, trying to pry it off with his right. He was a mild-mannered, intelligent man who loved his wife and 3 kids more than anything. On weekends, he liked to fix cars, play piano, and garden. Life was good. That was until 2 years earlier, when he suffered a stroke that left him partially paralyzed on his left side. But Charles was a fighter. So psych evaluation ruled out schizophrenia, split personality, or dissociative disorders. His wife began sleeping in a different room. Was she afraid of him? Maybe she should be. A heavy knife lay nearby. Bruises around his neck. His left hand had choked him in his sleep. Doctors thought it was a suicide attempt. Charles insisted it wasn't. "I would never hurt myself," he said, breaking down in tears. "But I can't say the same for my left hand." The staff immediately restrained his arm. Finally, someone understood. But the emotional toll was devastating. He asked his doctor, "Can you remove it?" Physical therapy didn't help. The hand resisted exercises. Then one day during a medical exam, the hand slapped his own face. He wasn't delusional. His left hand was functioning independently, actively fighting him. With determination and sheer will, he recovered most of his mobility. He could walk, talk, and function independently. Because sometimes the scariest things don't come from outside of us. They come from within. Fade to black. Sound of heartbeat, then slow creak of fingers moving. Often caused by brain damage, stroke, trauma, tumors, the hand can grab, punch, or even attack while the patient watches, helpless. There is no cure, only management. Wearing gloves, restraining the arm, or even distracting the hand with objects. For Charles, every part of life was back to normal, or so he thought. But the hand won't stop. It's his own hand. Looks down in horror as it tightens its grip. Diagnosis: alien hand syndrome. It's a rare neurological condition where a person's limb moves on its own, without their control, often with aggressive or purposeful actions. In Charles's case, the earlier stroke damaged the corpus callosum, the bridge between the brain's hemispheres. This disrupted communication between the conscious brain and the motor cortex controlling his left hand. His hand wasn't possessed. It was free-roaming, acting on motor signals Charles couldn't control or even feel. It wants to kill him. What do you do when a part of your body turns against you? This is the terrifying true story of a man whose left hand became his worst enemy. Meet Charles, 52, a retired high school teacher from Ohio, until one day his left hand moved on its own. At first, he shrugged it off as a weird post-stroke twitch, then it escalated. He was having dinner with his wife one night when his left hand suddenly shot out, trying to slap her. She screamed, and Charles immediately apologized, explaining it was his hand, not him. His wife, though shaken, was more mad than scared. "You could have hurt me," she said, more disappointed than anything. Charles knew she was right. He retreated to his armchair and tried to calm down. As he reached for the TV remote with his right hand, his left hand shot out, pushing it away. He stared at his hand in horror. It wasn't just twitching. It was willful, intentional, like the hand had a mind of its own. Over the next few weeks, Charles's symptoms worsened. His left hand knocked over cups, turned off the TV while he was watching it. Felt like his hand was rebelling against him, testing his strength. Was he losing his mind? Charles didn't want to scare his wife, so he hid his symptoms from her. He began taping his left hand to the armrest when he watched TV. When he told his doctor about it, they thought it was post-stroke nerve misfiring, or maybe muscle spasms. But Charles knew better. "It doesn't feel like a spasm," he said. "It feels like someone is living inside my arm." Neurologists were puzzled. CT scans showed no new stroke. In fear and confusion, Charles began wearing gloves, wrapping the arm in a scarf. But at night, he couldn't control it. One night, Charles was found unconscious in his kitchen. A rare brain disorder specialist reviewed the case. Alien hand syndrome is a rare neurological disorder where one hand acts independently of the person's conscious intent. Charles now lives with his left hand wrapped in a compression sleeve, always in sight. He calls it his shadow self.